Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. So for Ethereum unchanged, my view that we still need another low, or at least it would be ideal to have another low here before we get the larger reversal up in a wave 3. The view is still that this here was a wave 1, counted in 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're coming down in A, B, C, and the C wave ideally gets one more low, okay? Ideally in the area between 1150 and 1200. Of course, you know, it's pushing up a little bit now today. Ethereum isn't doing too much, but it's some nice upside, which was expected. Yeah, we talked about the Elliott Wave triangle formation that you can see here. And in that Elliott Wave triangle formation, we did expect a move up, which, however, we now moved a bit higher than originally anticipated, and we are nearly invalidating the Elliott Wave triangle. So I'm going to talk to you about which other possibility there is. So generally, once more here, my view is that I don't like this particular structure. Ideally, I would like to have another low. We don't need necessarily another low. We could have a breakout directly from here. We don't know that. Yeah, we don't know that. My strategy reflected that, because you can also have a direct breakout from here in 5 waves to the upside. That would be possible to construct that. It's not an impossible count here. Nevertheless, it would just look much better with one more low to tidy this mess up and then to recover from there in this third wave. Yeah, because we say this was a wave 1, we came down in a wave 2, and next we would see a wave 3 to the upside. That would typically take us at least to the 1.618 fib extension, and depending on how low we really go, that would be around $3,000 up there. Now that's not going to happen overnight. Yeah, that can take a while to play out. We could see a bit more sideways movement here for a few weeks, you know, but this is what should happen in this particular scenario. This particular scenario remains valid and likely as long as we stay above $1,000. Obviously, the closer we get to $1,000, the more critical it gets. But it is technically all valid and also likely as long as we stay above $1,000, which means anybody who's trading this could set a stop loss below $1,000. Now, I'm not telling you what to do, but this is certainly something, because if we drop below $1,000, I think we're going to see prices even below 880. Okay, so it's a fairly low risk, high reward trade in my opinion, and that is exactly what the Elliott Waves are so useful for, to identify those invalidation points and to identify those low risk, high reward trades. Because if you can look at that, moved up in a 1, came down in a 2. Yeah, this is a 1-2 setup, the best setups you get in Elliott Wave, and you are basically deep in support. Okay, and the reward, as I mean, taking it from roundabout where we are now, or maybe after another dip where we come down to 1200, all the way up to 3000 possibly. Yeah, whereas the risk is really low. If we come down to $1,000, this is where the invalidation point would be. And as I know, I tend not to want to risk more than 1 to 2% of my portfolio, so I'm going to set my stop loss accordingly. If I set my stop loss below $1,000, yeah, I always get the questions, how can it be this is more than 1%? Yeah, of course it is more than 1%, but this is where you play with your position size, and if you manage your position size properly, you can move your stop loss further away without risking more than 1% of your portfolio, okay? And especially at the moment, we are still catching knives. We have no confirmed bottom in place yet. We have no confirmed bottom in place yet. A confirmed bottom for me would only be in place as soon as we see 5 waves to the upside and then 3 waves down. We haven't seen that yet. Nevertheless, it's possible to get a breakout directly from here, but it's too early to confirm that. For me, there's 2 main options here. Let's say short-term, two main short-term bearish options. We still have the Elliott Wave triangle A, B, C, D, E, which should eventually come down as long as it stays below 1373. Because if we get above that level, it would invalidate the current triangle. We would get back above the wave C high, which would, as I said, invalidate it. Which means above 1373 is probably something else, which then leads me to the assumption it might be this yellow alternative count, WXY. And in this WXY pattern, we have in the Y wave, this is where we are, a wave A already done, wave B already done, and we're now in the C wave. And if I make that a bit larger, we have now completed a wave 1 in wave C. So this is a 5-wave move that can be counted, which means this would play out as something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, depending on how high we eventually go. We did measure a few things here in the previous video. So this can, this goes, if this is only wave 1, it now depends how low the pullback of wave 2 will be. We draw here the fibs. You can see an ideal retracement would be between 1325 and 1302. Yeah, between the 38.2% fib level and the 61.8% fib level. So this is a valid support area for a 1-2 setup here in this C wave to the upside. How high would the wave C normally go? Again, that is difficult to say. There's various ways of how this target can be measured now. I think something that would be quite likely is the 1450 level. Yeah, that is generally based on taking the length of the wave A, going down to the wave B, and then we've got 1450 is the 1.618 extension, ABC. Now this would mean wave 3 and 4 should be quite short. We'll see, we don't know that yet, but it's a possibility on the chart here that we have a 5-wave move to the upside in a wave C. So at the moment, still looking at, even if we get above 1400, I remain skeptical because we have possible bearish options even if we get above 1400. What the 1400 level does though, which is key resistance, if we break above that, we have to consider more closely and observe more closely a possible direct bullish breakout pattern. But until then, my focus remains here on the downside, and that there will be one more low to complete here the wave C of the wave 2 before we will recover in a wave 3 to the upside. Yeah, and that's my update about Ethereum. So hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.